New York strip steak, perfectly seared, incredibly tender, and we're serving it with a gochujang butter sauce. You can make this at home in less than 15 minutes, and this will blow any restaurant steak out of the water. This is an exciting episode of American Gravy because the queen is back.
I'm back.
Somebody
has to work around here. I'm just kidding.
That is true, she does. You know, it's funny, everyone's always like, oh my gosh, does Lauren ever go to the restaurant? She runs the restaurant. People don't realize this. She's a trained chef, went to culinary school, and is also an excellent restaurateur. So this is the brains behind the beauty. No, wait, shoot, she's the beauty and the brains. Gosh darn it. So what we're gonna do, the reverse sear is obviously the process by which we cook a steak by cooking it slowly in the oven first to about 110 degrees or rare, and then we remove it and sear it at the end. That creates a better browning and it also creates a more tender steak. Lauren's gonna start by seasoning the steak. First, she's gonna season it with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil.
Also, this looks really fancy.
Yeah, no, it's kind of cool, right?
I've never seen something like this.
Yeah, we've never, by the way, we're not endorsed by any of these companies.
More, less.
Yeah, keep going. Rub it all over. So hit it with the fat first. You can use avocado oil, olive oil, beef tallow, lard, bacon fat. If you've got any beef fat left over that you want to render, you can use duck fat. You can use chicken fat, also known as schmaltz. You can use ghee. You can use whole butter. You see the laundry list of non-seed oils, right? Or fats that aren't high in inflammatory oxidizing elements, so linoleic acid. But in any case, she's rubbing the meat down and then she's just gonna hit it with salt. And we're using kosher salt right now. I love using kosher salt because not only is it a cleaner flavor that doesn't have any of the anti-caking agents in it that you would traditionally find in iodized salt, but the kosher salt is also a larger grain.
Am I doing both sides?
Yeah, do both sides. The kosher salt's also a larger grain, so you can feel it in your fingers and you can season with the right amount of salt. I never cook with iodized table salt.
Well, who does?
A lot of people do.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people do. But that's nothing against the people that do. It's just next time you're at the grocery store, buy yourself a big old box of kosher salt. Okay, so we have our oven rolling right now at about 325 degrees. We're gonna throw the steak in the oven and we're gonna cook it until you don't need to necessarily take a temperature, just cook it for a little while until it's that ugly gray, not too long. The key is that you almost are evaporating a lot of the exterior liquid and then you're setting it up for a beautiful sear in the pan and it's gonna create a juicier steak, as I mentioned, with a much better browning on the exterior. So this will go in the oven. Think it's time to go?
I think it's nice and ugly.
Well,
Isn't that the key?
Yep.
If it's ugly, it's ready. That looks pretty ugly.
Yep. See, a lot of people ask me how long should it be in the oven? It's really just a little bit, right? Like you want this ugly gray. You see, it's always gonna look, it's gonna cook more on the bottom, but this is the point at which now we're gonna pull it over to this.
That was quick. That
was like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Like 6 to 8 minutes. There's no set time. You just need a little bit of time in the oven because that's the process at which it slowly cooks, breaks the tissue down, but then also it dries out the exterior and sets you up for the perfect reverse sear.
Yes.
Let's go to the stove. I'll meet you at the stove.
I'll meet you over.
So the pan is blasting right now. We gotta get that pan super, super hot. I'm still gonna keep cooking with the olive oil. I'm gonna just hit it with a thin layer, right? You don't want too much fat. Remember, there's fat on the exterior of the steak already, so we don't need to add more fat.
More fat.
But you do wanna dry your steak off before you put it in the pan. Even though it's partially cooked, you still wanna dry it off. What do you think right now, Lauren? Is it good to go?
I don't think so.
Exactly, and what tells you it's not?
It runs like water.
Exactly.
But that's not running like water.
She's right. So when the oil runs like water, then the pan is hot enough. When the oil is still running like oil or fat, and it's moving slowly, then it's not hot enough. That's kind of the telltale. So look, runs like water, almost.
Almost, maybe like 20 more seconds. Isn't olive oil, isn't the temperature, isn't it like lower? Like the
smoke point. The smoke point's around 425, 450. But what I've learned about olive oil, because I read a bunch of studies, is that it actually doesn't oxidize the way that people think it does when it cooks high heat. So I still wouldn't cook with a real high quality extra virgin olive oil because then you're losing the flavor and that's what you're paying for. But when you're using kind of just a generic utilitarian olive oil, I'll still cook with it at that high heat.
I think it's ready.
Yeah, see, there we go. Now it's running like water. That's a good point. Okay, so now we go down.
Ooh, look at that.
I love that sound.
Me too. Are we gonna keep flipping or are you
Yep.
gonna,
okay. Yep. So we'll probably typically I'll do at this stage For the first side, I'll go a little longer. So 45 seconds to a minute on the first side, just to really let that pan heat back up, because when you put a cold product in the pan, it drops the temperature. So you want to bring it back up. That's why you go the extra 30 seconds. Then after that 45 seconds to 60 seconds on one side, then I'll do 30, 30, 30, right? So I'll 30 seconds, flip it, 30 seconds, flip it. Do that about 4 times, and typically on a 1 to 2 inch New York strip steak, emphasis on strip, then that should bring you to about rare, mid-rare. I call it rare plus.
Rare plus?
Rare plus, yeah.
Sit on me. Oh, wow.
Look at that. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Look at that, how quickly and beautiful that is.
Yeah, that's nice.
And actually on a steak like this, so I never press burgers because the meat comes out, the juices come out quickly.
Yeah.
But, which is funny because the smash burger is built on pressing it, which is why I'm not a huge smash burger fan.
But they're good though.
Depends on where you're getting them from. But like, yeah, you can see here, you'll need to press it because what happens is that the connective tissue and the exterior fat, when it tightens up, it creates pockets where the meat is not level. So you almost want to level off the actual flesh of the meat. I don't like saying that, flesh. So moist.
Flesh.
All right, so here we go. But look, on that side,
Yeah, that's nice.
right? That side,
yeah.
that's beautiful. So now we'll go 30, 30, 30.
How many 30s are we doing?
Well, if I want to take it to, so after the first 60, if I want to take it to rare plus, I'd probably do 4 30s.
Rare plus. I
Yeah.
love your new term.
Yeah, rare plus.
Rare plus.
Rare plus. It's like a little bit past that butt rare.
Wait, you just sit on your beard.
I've been drooling on myself.
What?
I'm very excited Lauren is back. As you can tell, I can't even keep the saliva in my mouth.
What the hell?
Okay, so that's 30 seconds, right? So we'll do another push. Look at that. That's just coming together
Wow.
beautifully. Oh!
That one's just prettier.
Let's just switch it. Oh!
Okay, babe. I don't really, because I'm here when you're filming, so I never actually watch the videos. Does he make a lot of noises in his solo videos too?
She doesn't even watch the videos.
Because I'm here when I'm watching it live.
My mom watches it.
Your
That's all
mom.
that matters.
Susan.
Don't tell everyone her name. Ready? So let's do another on this guy. That is beautiful. Look at that sear in such a short period of time. So we'll do 30, then we'll do another 30, then we'll start to make our sauce.
Just that tiny amount.
We're just gonna do a light butter
Just
sauce.
a little bit.
A light butter. The butter doesn't really smell like anything.
Oh.
Give it another pump. There, look at that.
Wow.
Look at how quickly we get that beautiful sear on there.
Lord. And then that's it. 30 seconds. We pull them.
Yep, so now I'm
the
gonna turn the
sauce.
heat down, okay? I'm gonna pull this, put it right here. Okay, so here's one important note. If there's any juices that are left over from the steak, which in this case there aren't, you'll add them to the sauce. This will release juice here, so I will add it at some point. Now what you wanna do is, you can add beef stock at this point, chicken stock, you can add anything. I'm gonna use water, just because I don't have any beef stock. But this is the 3-step process of making a pan sauce. First, add your liquid, okay?
And that just gets all the bits off the bottom.
Yep, that
right?
gets all, see how already, look at the color of that liquid now. You see, I almost just made a beef stock right there because I pulled all the beautiful beef juices and what sticks to the pan, which is called, I pulled the
Why
beef,
are you talking like that?
I use the beautiful beef juices. That's called fond, F-O-N-D, which is foundation in French, and therefore it's the foundation of the sauce, okay? You're learning French here as well. Now, this is the point at which you would add the main flavor of your sauce. So if you wanted to make a Dijon butter sauce, you'd add Dijon. If you wanted to make a pesto butter sauce, you'd add pesto. In this case, we're gonna make a gochujang butter sauce. So now I'm gonna add my gochujang, right, which is just fermented red chili
And
paste.
it's delicious. If you have not tried that, you need to try that.
You do need to try it, okay?
It's really good.
But you kind of mix all this in, right? Now, this is the key. What you're going to do is now you're gonna add cold, whole butter, all right? And you're gonna whisk it in.
What is that, like 4 tablespoons?
This is probably, that's a good point. Yeah, probably, maybe 3, right? And you can swirl it in, you can whisk it in, whatever you want.
Oh, look at that.
So now,
It's getting creamy.
this is incredibly rich. You got the spiciness, the bitterness from the gochujang, sweet, salty, sour beef.
Beef?
I cannot talk today, but I want a little acid to cut through the richness. So I'm gonna use cider vinegar, raw, unfiltered cider vinegar, kind of like myself, raw and unfiltered.
Isn't it apple cider? Why are you saying cider?
Cider, apple cider. I mean, whatever, cider, apple cider.
Guys,
Okay.
something happened to my husband.
So there we go. In the process that we've been making the sauce, all these juices have dripped off the steaks. So let's add it. You know, we gotta add that, right?
Add
No
the
flavor
flavor.
left behind.
Add the flavor.
All right, so let's let that sit. Let's bring these over to the cutting board. The resting stage. I love my steak to rest for 5 or 10 minutes because that really lets all the myoglobin and the juices of the steak kind of evenly circulate throughout the steak. However, there's a few experts out there. For example, Meathead. He is the godfather of everything meat related. He doesn't like to because he wants his steak hot, and he figures when I cut it, even if I do lose some of the juices, then I just sop it up with whatever I'm eating the steak with. Reasonable perspective. For me, I like letting it kind of sit, but while it's sitting, I'm gonna add my flavoring, right? So I'm gonna add like fresh chives. You can add some fresh oregano, some fresh thyme, some fresh marjoram. You can add rosemary if you wanna add rosemary. So the oils will kind of hit the steak. The oils and the herbs will hit the steak, and it just creates this unbelievable aromatic effect.
Some fresh cracked pepper.
Some fresh cracked pepper. Notice we didn't cook with the pepper. I find that searing with pepper creates a bitterness because the pepper burns, so I like the fruitiness of the freshly cracked pepper, quacked pepper at the end. Absolutely perfect. Now that's gonna start to kind of come together nicely. There we go, right? Look at that. That's just beautiful. You guys ready to taste?
You guys ready to taste some steak?
6, 7,
All right, here we go. All right, guys, there you go.
Right now.
Try this. Caden's the ultimate taste tester.
Okay, I'm gonna
His-
taste test one.
His facial expressions. Everyone knows when we do these videos, like, it's taste test time. Okay, guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is it? 6, 7? 6, 7?
7.
I'm
Six.
gonna try some of this.
6, 7. 10 out of 6, 7. Yeah, 10 out of 6, 7.
Okay. That's above 6, 7.
It's good.
Wow.
It's really good.